Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're watching the Friday briefing. Of course, it's about time where we link up with none other but Willis the Word Master in the highly acclaimed Mind Your Language. But before we even get to the tricky part of this segment, let's just find out how he's doing. Willis, good evening. How has your week been?
Good evening, Jesse. My week has been great and I've really enjoyed a lot this week. But you know, one great thing is just coming to watch Friday briefing even added some life and spice to my week because I've just loved what you've done since the beginning of this bulletin.
Oh, thank you, Willis. My week has also been well. Can't complain. I'm definitely looking forward to our discussion right here, especially the collection and what you have in terms of feedback from the audience. But as usual, let's start with word on the street and find out this time which word it was.
Bejared.
Bejared.
Because I bejared.
Bejared.
Bejeweled.
All right, Willis. Now, we've had a couple of pronunciations right there. A word that means being adorned by jewels, or is it jewels? Help us understand, Willis.
You say jewels, jewel. The singular form is jewel, and then the plural form is jewels, jewels. It's a tricky word, Jesse, and from what we have on the street, in fact, in the first place, let us remember that this is an adjective, and the spelling that we've used is that which is, used in British English, and that is with LL, or we may say double L for that matter. So you say bejeweled, bejeweled. And as you explained correctly, it's about wearing jewelry or being decorated with precious stones. And you can say in a sentence, the bejeweled model has won the beauty pageantry. The bejeweled model has won the beauty pageantry.
All right, Willis, thank you for that. Let's go over to the collections of the week. We start with a word that's weird, or is it weird? How do you pronounce it, Willis? Something that's, uncanny, unearthly. How do you pronounce weird?
Yes, now, Jesse, many people find themselves saying weird, but the correct pronunciation of that word is weird, weird. Just like you can say, the psychiatrist said the girl's weird habits should be studied keenly. Weird.
Weird, Willis. Okay, many thanks for that. Over to the next word, the quality of being appropriate for a particular person or situation. I'm talking about suitability, or is it suitability?
Now, Jesse, that one has two acceptable, or what you may call alternative pronunciations. In the first place, you can say suitability with the long sound O, suitability. But remember, you can also say suitability. So suitability and suitability are acceptable as alternatives of, or the pronunciations of that word.
All right, the next word is a mouthful, I must say. It's a parasite causing disease. Perhaps you can go deeper into the meaning later, but is it cryptosporidium? Cryptosporidium, I think.
Oh, yes, that is it, Jesse. And as I always say, when it comes to handling matters English, I just feel even if I were to retire in the next few years, if I were to retire, then you'd handle things competently. Now, your English is always spot on. Now, we go to the pronunciation of that word, and exactly the way you put it, it's cryptosporidium, cryptosporidium. Now, the stress is on ridium, cryptosporidium, and that is a noun, and it means a parasite found in water that causes infections inside the body. Now, you can say Cryptosporidium is a 15-letter word, and that is why you called it a mouthful.
Yes, well, it's very true. Now, the next word is a little bit tricky, not mouthful as such, but it's a person who collects and sorts historical documents and records. I know it is archive, but is it an archivist or archivist?
Oh, now that is where we come to what we call inflections, or the changing of the forms of words for grammatical functions, especially in sentences. Now, we have archive, the way you've put it, an archive. But the person whose job is to develop and manage an archive, you say now archivist. Archivist. You don't say archivist. Just like I said, combine, combination. Invite, invitation. Recite, recitation. So you realize that we don't have the glide when we talk about archivist. But when we are referring to that place, you say archive.
The next word, a person skilled at gymnastics, you know, controlled physical exercise, sometimes in a sports competition. Yes, is it a gymnast?
That is the pronunciation, Jesse. You simply say gymnast. Now, sometimes when we speak English, especially locally, we try sometimes to sound, too stylish. Not all of us, but some people may try to use very big words, sometimes, trying to make certain accents which actually don't exist in English. But, as a person, somebody feels it sounds unique or stylish. But that is why I'm saying you simply say gymnast, gymnast. There is nothing like gymnast. There is nothing like gymnast. You see, somebody once told me something, Jesse, and I would share this one with you tonight. We have what we call loan words, words which are borrowed from other languages and used in English or any other language the way they are. Then we have this word ugali. And then a fellow told me that, Willis, why don't we just say ugalai, ugalai, because it sounds unique. And I told him there's nothing about being unique in language. Languages are about communication. If the word is ugali, just say ugali. Jesse.
All right. I'm definitely looking forward to have some ugali later on. But before I do, let's take a look at the next word, the organ in the body of a woman where a baby develops before birth. I know it's written W-O-M-B, but is it pronounced womb or womb?
Now, what happens is we always think that when we see MB, just like in Kiswahili, Kiswahili is a language that has what we call phonetic spelling. What you see is what you say, and in most cases, almost all letters are pronounced because they represent sounds. But when you come to English, we have those silent letters in words. A letter is silent when it is not pronounced when you are saying a word. Now, just like this word you've given out, Jesse, W-O-M-B, that B is not pronounced. And then letter O takes the long sound oo. So you say the womb, that is the womb, that organ in women and female animals in which babies develop before they are born. You say womb. Don't say womb and don't say womb. We also say tomb, the tomb, not the tomb, not the tomb. So these are aspects that we have to understand. So MB do not function, I repeat, as a digraph. B is silent. Womb, tomb.
Something similar, a person who repairs or connects water pipes. Is it a plumber or a plumber? Does the same apply with womb and tomb?
Jesse, that's a good one. Locally, you ask somebody, what do you do? I'm a plumber. And what are you going to do? Plumbing. We don't have that sounding mb in the two words. You say plumber, plumbing, not plumber, and not plumbing. Just like you say bomb, not bomb, bomber, not bomber, bombers, not bombers, climber, not climber, climb, not climb, comb, not comb. Jesse, the list is long, but what we should remember is that B is not pronounced, so we don't have the sounding mb like in mbolea, the Kiswahili word. In English, you just say plum, plumber, and you also say plumbing. You catch it?
Yes, we got it, Willis. And I'd like to hand it over to you.
Great.
But I also got a request from one of your loyal followers, especially on Twitter, Willis Ochingwen, wanted to ask whether it's pizza or Pisa, because I've had a little bit of both on the streets. So as you also take a look at the other questions asked by the viewers, just kindly highlight that for us.
Let me go straight to that word you've just asked about. We have it as P-I-Z-Z-A in spelling, and it's from Italian. When you are pronouncing that word, you say pizza, pizza. You don't say pizza. Pizza, no. You say pizza. And remember, when we talk about paparazzi, what we see is paparazzi, but you don't say razzi. You say razzi. Paparazzi, paparazzo. Now we have pizza, not pizza. I hope that our wonderful viewer has picked that. So don't say pizza, you say pizza. Then we go to Zacchaeus Kilonzo of Kitui. Zacchaeus, you say mishap. Don't say mishap. When you have that minor or a mild accident, you say mishap. You pronounce S and H separately, mishap. So don't say mishap. And Kitui people, we love you so much. Always keep it KTN, and you know that is where all the satisfaction when it comes to informing you, educating you, and in fact, giving you all that you need, you'll always get it. And we have David Banda of Nairobi. You say gubernatorial, not gubernatorial. You say gu, not ga. Gubernatorial. That is when we're talking about issues to do with being a governor, you say gubernatorial. Just like you say Uber. Uber taxi. You don't say Abba. It's Uber. Now we have Lena Sendeyo of Kajiado. You say constipation. Constipation. And this word is becoming popular. Your second word is infectious. Infectious. Now Mwalimu Simon Monari Monyancha. Mwalimu Simon Monari Monyancha and Sir Alex Matara Daktari. You say hyperbole. It's a very tricky word. Hyperbole. Not hyperbole, the way many people say it. It's hyperbole. Then your second word, don't say Jenna, don't say Gina, you say genre, genre. That word is from French. That is G-E-N-R-E, genre. And remember, you only got those, you only have to get time to catch all these on KTN every Friday night. Now, Steve Owino, we have Y-A-C-H-T as you have correctly put it. But you say yacht. Yacht, yachting. A yachting club, not yacht, yachting club. Just avoid yacht and avoid yachting. It's yacht and yachting club. Now we have Callistus P. Danger of Kilifi. You say entourage, not entourage. Entourage, no. Entourage. Just like you say espionage. Don't say espionage, you say espionage. He was charged with espionage. Then we have Peter Makanda of, oh, this is a very, very far place. Okay, thank you, Peter Makanda. Tell people of Kigali. I don't know whether it is Chigali or Kigali, but I'll do something about that to find out the right way to pronounce that city. Kigali or Chigali for now, I would use that. But you say Makanda, you say revere and revered. Revere and revered. Then the word which you have as your third word is severe, like severe malaria. Don't say severe. Martha Wangare, you say extemporaneous, extemporaneous. Then Esnas Vero or Vero, you say chancellor. Don't say chancellor. That is C-H-A-N-C-E-L-L-O-R, chancellor. Then we have Anne Ikubu or Ikubu and Rachel Kanini. You say extension, and the second word is constituency. T-U-N-C, a bit tricky. Constituency, but remember you can also say constituency. Then we have Moses Ochego. You say confidence. Very simple. Confidence. Don't say confidence. No, don't be stylish. Just get the sounds right in a word. Confidence. Then we have Stephen Kreiter. You say curious. Gitau Ndungu, oh, keep it up since it's great to keep it KTN. Just keep it up, and as I said, you only get these on KTN. Now, Johnson Mayenga, you say tuberculosis and cumulus. Don't say camulus. Cumulus, that is C-U-M-U-L-U-S. Finally, Oya Sami Mkenya, you say dilate. But remember, sometimes you can also say delate, but delate is not commonly used. Otherwise, we go straight to the surprise word. We go to the surprise word for tonight, and this word, which refers to the organ inside the body where food goes in when you swallow it. In fact, many people say stomach, but that stomach is inaccurate. This letter O takes the mid-central sound That is like we have what we call the phonetic symbol here, which is like a V upside down, or the inverted V. So it represents the mid-central sound So you say stomach. That must be a surprise to many people, but that is the way to go. Stomach pains, not stomach pains. Now, after that, we go to the confusing words. When we talk about diplomatic corps, many people say diplomatic corps. So the corps, after the word diplomatic, or in that compound noun, it is this one without an E, and you say corps, diplomatic corps. Don't say diplomatic corps. But when you say corpse, we have the dead body down here that is having an E, so you say corpse. You can see the phonetic transcription or the way it is written in pronunciation. So, corps, diplomatic corps, but the corpse. Remember, the plural of corp is also corpse, but that is with the short sound O. Then we have the words which are asked so much by many people throughout the week. We have B-O-W, R-O-W, and S-O-W, but they are tricky because when you pronounce this word, when it functions as a verb, that is to bend, like when you are praying, you say to bow, to bow for a word of prayer. But when you are talking about this word as a noun, when you are referring to the weapon that is used to shoot an arrow, you now say bow. To shoot an arrow using a bow. But when you bend your head, you say to bow. Then also this one, when you are referring to an arrangement or to move the boat, don't say row. You say row, the row, or to row the boat. But when you are talking about a conflict or dispute, like now land dispute, marriage dispute, or any other dispute, like even party or political disputes, don't say political row. That would be vague. You now say political row, a row. Then finally, we have SOW. When you're talking about planting something, you say sow, to sow. But when you are referring to the female pig, you now say sow. Such words are very tricky, dear viewers, because sometimes you may not know the context in which you should be saying sow, sow, row, row, bow, bow. But good knowledge is always in good books and other reference materials. So take your time, do some reading, you get that definite knowledge. But you also get it right here on KTN. Otherwise, now we go to the phonetic symbol, which now wraps it up for us for tonight. And this symbol which we have, this is the phonetic or sound symbol that I always also tell you that you have that chance every Friday night. Now this one is the phonetic symbol for the long high back sound oo. Oo. Like in the word to, when it is strong. To, then to also, then to. So you'll realize the three words have the long, what I would call the long high back sound oo. So this is represented by this symbol, and if you look at this one, it is to. So these three words are called homophones, words which are spelled differently, with different meanings, but they have the same pronunciation. Otherwise, up to that point, it's my time now to take you back to Nairobi. But before that, I have to remind you that you can also interact with me throughout the week, and that is on Twitter, and the handle is @WillisOchieng1. Otherwise, it's also this time that I have to take you back to the hot and tough duo of Friday Briefing, that is Jesse Rogers and Ashley Mazuri, all the way in Nairobi. Back to you, Jesse.
All right, many thanks, Willis. It's always a pleasure as you get to definitely shed light on proper pronunciation. Interesting couple of words today. Definitely learnt a few things right there. I'll use them next week.
So you. Anyway, that's where we wrap things up, right, Jesse?
Yes, no better way. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for watching the Friday Break.